guys! Welcome to Gina's Sweet Vlog. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget to ring the bell. Thank you guys. Enjoy for watching.
Went to the visitor center, view the gardens at the back and not. It's free to go in. But the house, sadly, it's closed. It's under major restoration.
In the 1840s, Kingston quickly grew to become the political, military, and cultural capital of Upper Canada. Many dignitaries and wealthy merchants chose to build their homes here, just beyond the city limits. And this neighborhood became known as the Western Liberties. Over time, many of the elegant villas and estates have been subdivided into smaller properties, but many of the original buildings are still standing.
Cute
Look
mga
for the
bahay,
limestone Barbary Cottage on the
Yung
left,
nakaupo,
and the
hindi
yellow
cute.
stucco Oliver House,
Pangit.
now part of the
Western
Beth Israel
Liberty.
Synagogue.
Now, the Bearberry Cottage would have been the very first home that was built here on Center Street. And the Otterburn home, which is here on your left-hand side on the corner, this would have been the second home that would have been built here on Otterburn Street. Now, this is Union Street here, folks. But originally, this street was called Union Way. And the reason it was called Union Way, it was the only access road between Kingston, this part of town which was called the Western Liberties, and a small village west of here called Portsmouth Village. And this was completely maintained. The roadway was a dirt roadway, and it was completely maintained by the local farmers that would have lived in this area at that time.
There's another aspect to Kingston's notoriety, its reputation as Canada's prison capital. Imagine your eavesdropping on two convicts headed for Kingston Penitentiary in 1923.
Hey, are you Red Ryan? Yeah, so you broke out of Kingston Pen. You're going back for life, eh? You think I'm spending the rest of my life in a freezing cell of busted limestone and quarry? I'll do anything but my words. This time, I'm never coming back.
Sure enough, the notorious Red Ryan talked his way out of the pen. Serving time in a penitentiary was supposed to get criminals incentive to reform, so he won parole by convincing the authorities that he'd seen the error of his ways. As a free man, Red Ryan went on a spree of robbery and killing that cemented his legend as the Canadian Jesse James. The Kingston Pen is a formidable fortress located along the waterfront and across from the warden's house. We'll see it in a bit. Canada's first penitentiary has now been decommissioned. It opened in 1835. And for the first 99 years, Kingston Pen housed both male and female inmates. Then the women were transferred to a separate facility. The smaller but also impressive prison for women stands on the opposite side of the warden's house. It closed in 2000, and the property now belongs to Queen's University. They've now removed most of the security wall, allowing us to see this formidable limestone enclave. Look for the prison bars still on the windows.
The trolley will stop across the street from Kingston Penitentiary at the former warden's house. Today, it's the Penitentiary Museum, another one of Kingston's hidden gems. Peer into an early prison cell barely wider than your shoulders. Relive famous escapes and riots. Shiver over prison contraband, including a homemade crossbow and instruments of punishment from the past. contraption that simulated drowning, similar to waterboarding.
This is another great museum to visit, folks. It's actually free to come here. It's a fantastic museum if you're interested.
Museum tayo? Or mamaya?
I don't sell them on board. If you want to do the whole rest of the tour and buy a ticket once you get downtown, that's fine with me. Alright. Yeah, you have to go hop off here at the end of it. Or it's a long walk. So not only did the Kingston Penitentiaries for the first 99 years have men and women, it also housed children. The youngest boy to come here was by the name of Antoine Boats, and he was from Montreal, and he was caught pickpocketing in Montreal, and he was sentenced to 3 years at the Kingston Penitentiary. And the youngest girl that came here, her name was Elizabeth Bree, to protect her father, so she lied for her dad. 26 escape attempts here at the Kingston Penitentiary, and the last one was in 1999 by Tyrone Kahn. He was found 2 weeks later in Toronto, surrounded by the police, and he was talking live to a reporter when a loud bang was heard, and a shotgun had accidentally gone off in that basement and killed him.
Shortly after we pass the penitentiary, the trolley will enter a neighborhood with lots of trees and charming houses. 200 years ago, this was Portsmouth Village, a separate address outside Kingston city limits. We'll be passing the Village Green, Aberdeen Park. The old stone building at the center of Aberdeen Park was Portsmouth Village's town hall. The village came into being in 1784 when it was settled by United Empire Loyalists. After the American Revolution, thousands of former colonists remained loyal to the crown. Many of them migrated north into British territory, where the king offered them generous grants of land. At that time, the nearest settlement to Portsmouth Village was the former French trading post at Fort Frontenac. The United Empire Loyalists took to calling it Kingstown as a sign of their allegiance to George III. Over the years, Kingstown became Kingston.
This sudden, huge migration changed the future of Kingston and of Canada. For the first time, most of the people living here spoke English. The culture they brought with them was founded on British traditions, including the Anglican Church, British rule of law, and parliamentary government. The change was so profound, you could say the American Revolution created not one, but two new nations.
So for any guard working at the Kingston Penitentiary back in the 1800s, after it was opened in 1835, they actually had to live within earshot of the penitentiary, and that is why they lived all in Portsmouth Village here. And they would sleep with their windows open so they could hear the main gate bell call for them in case of emergencies.
Portsmouth Olympic Harbor has docking space for 300 power and sailboats. Kingston built it to host the sailing events in the 1976 Summer Olympics. This is also the scene of the annual Canadian Olympic Training Regatta, Kingston, or CORP for short. Kingston is the freshwater sailing capital of the world.